Today in the Cosy Art Club we're going to be having a go at making some ATCs. So stick around if you want to see my process for putting these together. Hello and welcome back to a Kooky corner of YouTube. You can see I've got quite a messy desk today. It's Easter Monday. Many apologies that I couldn't make it for yesterday. Time got away with me, but I'm here today. So we're going to have some fun and make some ATCs. Now, if you don't know what ATCs are, they are artist trading cards. So basically you make up a whole set of them and then you'd find other people to swap with. So with ATCs, no money is involved generally. It's just a case of straight swaps. So I am going to put together a few and see if anybody would like to swap with me. I like making them. I've made them many years ago. I've got all my little stamps and everything in order to put them together. You don't need them, but I have got them, so I'm going to use them. So yes, an ATC is 2.5 inches by 3.5, and that is its rule. That is the size of it. Anything else goes as long as it fits on a card of that size. So this is one that I've put together just to show you, but I'm going to put together a whole host more of them. And it's a little froggy, obviously. You can add all of the things on here as well. This is just like the basics of it. You could put like little quotes on. I'd do like a little library frog saying Reddit, Reddit. Just because that amuses me, and it would probably amuse a few of my friends as well. So yes, ATCs go back, way back. I think I started doing them in the early 2000s probably, but they probably go back longer than that. And it's just a way for artists to share a little bit of their artwork. You know, sometimes things get so expensive, and trying to get a piece of original artwork that could cost you quite a bit actually. So something small that you can swap with other artists I think it's a great thing to do, and then you can get a little collection of artwork together and yeah, and share. So I've just dragged out my old ATC folder to show you. If you're interested, obviously, if you're not, you can skip ahead to the making of, but I thought you might be interested, so I grabbed them out. This was a business card holder, which is the size generally of an ATC. So in here I've got some ones that I made quite a while back. They've not even been dated or anything. Let's have a little look. It's been a while since I've seen these. Got my blue dog, my original blue dog there. And I did some ladies. And this is a nice little storage actually. I may actually transfer from the one I've got underneath here into here so that I've got them all together in this smaller book. So this is quite a sizable thing. So let me open this out. Show you some of the ones that I've done previously. So these were all, look, I've written on the back, dated 2008, 2007. So we're getting back about 20 years near enough. So yeah, I did a whole series of like ink monsters. These were not ATCs, I was selling these at ACEO. So if you look on the back of that one, and it's called an art card edition and original. These ones you can sell. It was like a follow-on of the ATC where people actually wanted to sell them. Not for too much, but you could put them up for sale. And I had these in my Etsy shop. So I've got loads of like ink monsters on this one. I've got some more on this page here. Some ink monsters. But these were ones that I've either swapped or traded or actually bought from artists who were selling them on their site. Obviously it's kind of gothic themed. I did like that. So yeah, all these different people. The little signs on the back. This is the way you can finish them off, or you can have a specific little stamp that you put on the back and you just date them. But yeah, this was like an edition, so it's 13 of 25, or you can have originals which are just made up like this one here. That one's got some metallic elements on it, rather lovely. Mother Nature, that one was called. That was in 2009. I've got some alien ones here. I was practicing with not a lino print. It was a polystyrene. No, polystyrene. Not polystyrene. Is it polystyrene? Yeah, styrene trays, you know, where you can draw into them, and I did things like that with them. So yeah, also got splatters on here and dust and everything. I just dragged this off one of my shelves, but just to show you the kind of thing you can do. So as you said, if you can fit it in one of these, anything goes. Let's pop that over there for a minute. So yeah, I think what I might do is transfer them over to this, which is a business card holder, because I've got quite a lot of pages in there that I can use. That just makes that easier to carry. Anyway, that's by the by. First of all, we've got to make something to do with an ATC. So I am doing frogs at the moment, so I'm going to do some frogs, but the situations are similar if you wanted to do any other different animal, or if you wanted to do something completely different. ATCs, let's have a little go. So the first thing you're going to need is some background. I'm going to do a batch of ATCs so that I can do them all and then get them all ready for swappages. And first of all, you're going to need some like backgrounds. You could just paint onto this size card if you wanted to, but as I'm going to be doing them from like trying to get a few done at once, I'm going to do them on a big sheet of paper. So with that in mind, I've got some heavyweight cartridge paper. This is 220 GSM, which is quite thick. Watercolour paper is even thicker, so you could do like a 300, 400 GSM. That would be great as well. I'm going to back mine with some card though, so I'm going to put some card on the back of them. So some nice thick paper or card to do yours on. If you do it on the thicker stuff, you don't need to back it with anything. I'm just backing these because the paper's not too flimsy, but I just felt like it looked better with the backing on it. So grab yourself some like A4 paper and we're going to paint up some papers. So that's going to be on the video that's coming up. Right, so this is the sheet I ended up with. I love it. It's got some shiny bits on it as well because I used some iridescent paints. Use whatever you like. Choose your own colours. These are I kind of went froggy idea based for mine because I'm doing frogs, you know, that's the way it's going. But also what I found really interesting was that the roll-off paper is also quite nice as well. So all the scrape off, should I say, because this is an old works card and I just use that to scrape the paint around, as you saw, stenciled on top of it, and we're left with this. So this is going to be where I mark out where my cut points are going to be. I could cherry pick, I could go through here and just have cherry pick areas, but I'm just going to use it as is because I'll see how many I can get out of one sheet. So with a pencil, oh my goodness, I'm losing my marker pen. That can go and live down there for a minute. Right, so which is going to be the best way to go? That way I could get, I'm going to have a bit left over, and that way I'm going to have a bit left over, so it doesn't really matter which way I go. Let's mark out our 2.5 inches there and there, and gosh, I need a bigger table. There, I'm going to have a strip left whichever way, and that can go in my collage fodder area. So I'm going to do that same at the bottom. So 2.5, 5 and 7.5. There we go. Right, and draw my lines. So I'm going to get quite a few out of this, which will be nice. So line it up, draw a little line. You can cut this with scissors or a guillotine, whatever. That wasn't quite on the money. Let's take that back, Chatfield. There we go. Okay, so the length of them is 3 inches. So I'm going to go 3, 6, 9, and it's just going to be a little bit shorter. Hey ho, it's not a deal. So if I mark to 9 there, go down to 6, go down to 3. I am a silly Billy. I measured out 3 inches and it should have been 3.5 inches. So sorry, scrap that. I'll put a little note on when I say that to make sure it's 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches, not 3 inches. So here are a selection of ones that I've cut out. I'm not going to use all of these today. I'm just going to do one little froggy on here with you, and then we can do whatever we like. But they're great. They've come out really nicely. I'm really happy with these as backgrounds. I think they're lovely. So let's paint the froggy. I'm going to go with that one, I think. Oh no, maybe I'll go with that. I can't decide now which one to paint on. Oh, that one. Let's do that one. Let's do that one. So I have got a selection of paint. I'm using acrylic just because I have got some. Artist trading cards can be made in whichever way you want to make them. So you can use whichever materials you've got, but I thought you might enjoy watching me paint a froggy. So we're going to do a frog. So I've got some iridescent because I like my frogs to shine. So I'm going to do mine on this one in this green. I'm going to do an underpainted green as well because I like the shiny green. So I've got to find my little jar of green, which is going to be this vivid lime green. My froggy is going to be that. He's going to be wearing a jumper. I'm going to put him in a different colour jumper to this one, you know, just by way of a change. Right, get me brushes ready. I need a bit of a bigger brush, I think, to start off with. That's not much bigger. Probably about the same size, a little bit bigger, maybe. So I'm going to paint my outline of my froggy. So the iridescent bit is going on top of this one. Oh, look at that shine. I love this so much. It's a PBO paint, Studio Acrylics Diner, and it's the iridescent green yellow. Oh, perfect froggy colours. Let's paint his face in. And his neck down here. I love this green and pink together that I did for the base card. Really enjoying that. I'm going to make his a bit wider, just there, like so. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, right, so I'm going to give him a pink jumper, and I've got this opaque vivid pink, which is also a PBO paint. Got a little bit on the end there, pull that off. Blob a little bit out. I always blob too much and then I end up trying to fit it back in the bottle. But I'm trying not to do that. I don't want to waste paint. So, yeah, a nice pink jumper for our froggy. His shoulders going down there. Such fun. I'm trying to decide what to do after the frogs now. I might go back to the bee and do, I don't know. I could do bees. No, I think I want to think of some other things. If you can think of another set of 10 things that I can do for the 100-day project, or a creature of some kind, then drop me a message into the comments box down below, and I have a look through, and I might take you up and do the next, after I finished all my frogs, obviously, the next 10 will be your suggestion. This one's got more jumper. He's not got much shoulder area, so there we go. Get your jumper on. There we go. Frogs and jumpers. It's a thing. Well, it is a thing now. They're all having the same colour jumper. They're all going to turn out differently. There's never one ever the same because they're all painted separately. When they do the ACOs and they do the editions, generally they'll do prints, maybe of what they've done as an original. So that will be an edition of however many prints they make for that particular piece of artwork. I like the originals. I love something that's an original. I've got 2 frogs without jumpers. I shall continue with those and I'll come back with the other one. Okay, so it's eyeball time. I have got a white marker pen here. This may take a couple of layers, but if you allow them to dry in between times, it works quite nicely. You could use acrylic paint if you wanted to. I'm just using markers because I've got one on my desk and I'm too lazy to go and search out my white paint. No, actually, I have got some quite close by, but I want to use up some of the markers that I've got in my little stash. So, right, we've got eyeballs. Do I take it a little bit bigger? Yeah, a little bit bigger. So this one has already had a layer on, which is dried. So I'm going to go over that and make it more opaque, white. You can see the difference there, can't you? I don't know if you can or not. Let me lift it up. So I give it 2 layers, it's much stronger. So you can judge what your white's like. If you need to give it 2 layers, give it 2 layers. Spend a bit of time and give it time to dry in between layers, otherwise it'll just lift up what's underneath it. So I'm going to let this dry and then we can continue with the rest of his facial features. So while the eyes are drying, I'm going to add some detail in on the jumper. So I'm going to give some little knitted neckline going along there. And this guy's going to have a spotty jumper. Again, you can do lots of different colours if you like. I'm kind of limiting my palette a little bit, some greens and pinks on spotty jumper. I'm still waiting for the eyes to dry so we can go in for something on there. But I'm going to decorate some of the other frogs as up. So let's get this one with a neck on as well. This one's going to have hearts. Because why not? To go down a bit further with that one. There we go. Right. Again, waiting for it to dry in between layers so that you're not lifting up the other layers, and we can finish off his face. Right, we're going in. We're going in the middle of his eyeball. There we go. Like he's got goggles on. Some frogs have those kind of eyes. Some have different kind of rounder eyes. I like frogs anyway. Anyway they arrive. Now I could have left a little bit of white showing through for the little highlight in his eye. Now that I haven't, I'm going to just have to add it in with a marker pen afterwards. Froggies! Lots of froggies! We all love a frog. It's funny how animals like come into favour, don't they? There seems to be a season for different animals. Sometimes, what was it? Llamas and sloths and frogs have had their day as well. And I like all the animals, so whichever one's in favour is good for me. There we go. Make sure they all get nice eyeballs. The one I'm using at the minute it's just a liner pen, this one. It's a fine liner. Although not that fine, this is a 0.9, yeah. It's quite a thick one as they go. Colour in his eye. And another one. White's not quite dry. Got a bit of grey going on there. If that happens, just let it dry and then you can add it in afterwards. Yeah! Right, a dot to bring those eyes to life. So if you're sensible, you'd leave a little bit of the white behind. But I am not sensible. I think we've already determined that one. So to bring their eyes to life, we had a little white dot in them to look like they're shining. Doop, doop. And last one here. Doop, doop. Yay! A set of froggers. And I can continue to play with this if I wanted to and add all kinds of other things in, but I think you're getting the gist. And the way we finish them off, well, I'm going to put mine on some card like I have done with this one, because they're not, look, they're quite stiff, being a 220 GSM paper, but I want to back them because on the back we've got all these weird marks and stuff where I mismeasured them. So this one that I did earlier, he's got his, didn't show up as well because I probably should have used a black on this instead of a purple. I had this Memento dye ink stamp because I have got one of the rubber stamps for my backing. I've had this for years, so I am using it. This is what it looks like. Let me grab a page. So when you print it out, it looks like that. So those are the kind of details that you want to put on the back, whether you stamp it on or write it on. And it's, you put the title of the piece, who it's by. If you want to put any contact details, you can. Sometimes I don't. I just put my website or something like that. The date I did it, and if it's a number of a series, then you'd give it a little number there. So number of a series there. So it could be just put over original. But there we go. That's all there is to it. So I want you to go and have some fun making your own cards. You don't have to do frogs. You can do anything you like. But I fancied frogs because that's my zone at the minute where I'm in. And I can go in even now and add other things in. So I'm looking and thinking I could actually come in with a pencil and just add some outlines in if I wanted to. Just to tidy it all up. But the more you look, the more you fiddle. So it's probably best to come to a point where you say, that's it, it's done. I might still put a star in the top there because I like stars. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget, a thumbs up is so helpful to the channel. Costs you nothing, as does a subscription to the channel if you're enjoying what we do here. If you want to come back for another Cozy Art Club next Sunday, then the subscription where you can click the bell, I'll let you know every time I upload a video to the channel. Both those things don't cost you anything. If you want to share what you're making and maybe you want to find somebody to swap with, you could come to the Facebook group. The Facebook group is always mentioned in the description box below, so you've got a link to that. You'll have to answer a few questions in order to get in, but that's it. And then you can come and see what everybody else is doing if they're doing some ATCs. There's a whole host of things going on. As I say, we're doing the Kooky postcard sale for this month is It Came From Outer Space. So a lot of people are busy doing that. But a lot of people are doing lots of other things, and you could meet some people that you know, maybe you want to swap with if they're in your country, because postage nowadays not so great. But yeah, if you're making some ATCs and you want to swap with somebody else who's made some, it's nice. You might start a new friendship, who knows. Anyway, that's enough from me for today. I will be back here very soon with something else, so bye for now.